kayfabe was a way to show respect to the audience and respect your own business. It was a way to protect you.
But to be the man, you gotta beat the man. And I'm saying, we are the generation that you make your rules and we will break them. Give the people what they want.
Ladies and gentlemen, heels and faces, casual wrestling fans, and all you smart marks, I am Mr. Richard Moon.
I'm Kayfabe AJ.
I'm Kayfabe Focus.
And this is the Kayfabe Livecast.
The podcast.
Or is it the Kayfabe Podcast?
Or is it the livecast? That's a podcast.
Exactly.
We'll figure it out later.
Yeah. But as long as everybody knows how to get there.
So let them know.
Down at the end of Jabroni Drive at
AJ, what are we talking about today?
So today we have the top 5 of the current era right now, spanning all promotions.
Who's the top 5?
Indies.
Who's the top 5 in the world?
WWE, anywhere.
Who's the top 5 in the world right
top
now?
Top 5 in the world right now.
Right now. 2018, November 5th. While we're watching Monday Night Raw.
We picked our own top 5. We haven't revealed it yet. So we're going to run them down from 5 to 1.
Yep.
We're going to speak about, generally why we picked the people, give a little insight on them, and let's go for it. It's probably going to be controversial. This is like the barbershop episode.
Yeah, we needed one of these. Yeah, we needed one of these.
Who's in your top 5?
We needed one of these.
We need to do top 5 dead or alive. But who's the top 5 right now?
So, let's do it. Starting from 5.
That's my attempt at a drum roll. Alright, for my 5th person, I'll start it out. I got Seth Rollins.
Seth Rollins, okay. Burn it down. Burn it down.
Why does Seth Rollins
make it? Huh?
Well, this is unlike Jericho's list.
Okay.
This list you actually want to be on.
Okay.
My reason is, let's face it. The Shield was as good as it was when Rollins was the leader. After he left the Shield, turned on them, monster title run. Monster come back off of a surgery, been on a roll, Intercontinental Champion multiple times.
He had a little bit of a slump when he first came back off that. He had a little bit of a slump when he came back.
Let me test.
He had a little bit of a slump when he came back. He really got kind of lost in the. He kind of got lost in the card a little bit. He kind of got. That's with that whole Jason Jordan stuff.
It wasn't really a loss in the shuffle. I feel like it was more of a let's test where your leg is at. Let's make sure you're healthy. But they were always building back into the Triple H Kingslayer thing. Yeah. After the Kingslayer, he rebounds into this.
I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I think that Triple H Kingslayer match was a little bit of a disappointment, to be honest with you.
Honestly, it could have been a little better.
It should have been a street fight, like an actual street fight.
Do
you remember WrestleMania 12 with Goldust and Roddy Piper? How they was backstage.
Oh, that's one of the greatest.
Not to that extreme, but it needed to have.
It wasn't one of the most hardcore things you've seen.
It didn't need to be hardcore.
It was still something to watch. Like
it just felt like
I still remember the gold Cadillac.
Yeah, like it didn't have to go to that extreme, but it needed to feel more personal. You know what I'm saying? Just feel like a regular match.
Back to why I picked him for the top 5. At number 5, he not only stood on his own, but he's also gone through his little phases, little changes through storylines, and he always seems to be able to be the focus of the show, even when he's not the main guy. Even when he's not the champ, he's still a workhorse. He's putting out the best matches of 2018, arguably, and with him, the matches he's done with Ziggler recently, Iron Man matches. He went what was it, like 56 minutes on Raw?
Yeah, that was one of the best. That was one of the best matches on Raw in a long time.
That was probably one of the best Raws in a long time. Yeah, honestly.
You know what the crazy thing is? They didn't open up with a match. They didn't open up with that. They announced that match and then went right into it. They didn't just open up with it because it'd be crazy if a wrestling show opened up with a wrestling match.
Not only that.
What?
I know, right?
Why would they do that?
A wrestling. Why would a wrestling show open up? You know what I'm saying? Why would a wrestling show open up with a wrestling match? Why would they do
Why would
that?
somebody book that?
But that was awesome. Oh, speaking of Seth Rollins, man, coming out right now, double champion.
As always, we
Double
watch wrestling as we talk
And
about
he's coming out
wrestling.
with both the titles. Okay, he's coming out with both the tag team titles.
He's the tag team.
Oh,
He's
the
the tag team champion.
champion.
He's the tag team champion. We'll throw back to Kane and Daniel Bryan.
So, speaking of, Rollins, let's talk about his reign. He's out here right now on Monday Night Raw. Both tag team titles over his neck. He's using it as a Jericho scarf, if you will. He has the Intercontinental title on his waist.
Yep.
After Miz dropped the title, he's been the workhorse for that title. And I think maybe not character-wise as far as promos go.
He's had other things going on.
Entertainment-wise, but match-wise, match quality-wise, he's definitely held that title to, good
But that's
degree.
kind of his thing, though. That's
He's
kind of
one of
Seth
the
Rollins'
first
part of his
people-
character.
I believe he's the first person to hold the WWE Championship and the United States Championship
Yeah.
same time. Seth Rollins is definitely one of the top 5 of the current era. And I think going forward, he still has a lot to prove. Right now, as we speak, they're giving the promo about Dean Ambrose and the split between him. He's that other titles Dean Ambrose is. So I see them going into a monster run, fighting over the IC title back and forth. Maybe he, in a couple months, he gets propelled into the main event picture again.
Needs to.
But Seth Rollins definitely
needs
up
to.
there.
Needs
So,
to.
which way are we gonna throw this? We're gonna throw this clockwise, counterclockwise. Focus.
All right,
Who's your top? Who's your number 5 on your
My
top
number
5?
Number
Right
5.
now.
Right now.
Right now.
Right
Right
now.
now.
Right
Right
now.
now.
Becky Lynch.
Ooh,
Becky
Lynch.
Oh man, you know what?
Ooh,
As I like
Becky
You know
to
what?
call it,
Lynch.
the takeaway.
I'm pissed off because I forgot about Becky. Spoiler alert: Becky's not on my list.
Yeah, spoilers.
I'm
too.
so upset.
You know
with
what?
myself.
I'm so happy that you just said that. I'm not happy that you forgot about Becky Lynch, but just because I finally get to use it.
I'm starting a new list. It's a list of stupid idiots. And all of you.
Alright, you just made it. You're
Listen,
not putting Becky Lynch on your list.
I admit it. Here,
You
the
know what?
official.
You know what happens when you make a top 5 list about the top 5 wrestlers right
It's
now,
official.
and you don't put
Pants
Becky
clench.
Lynch on it? You know what happens, AJ?
Oh,
Huh?
man, give
Huh?
it- I
Focus.
deserve it.
Focus,
Give it
huh?
to-
Does he know what happens?
I deserve
Huh?
it.
Should I tell him what happens?
Tell-
Should I tell him what
What
happens?
happens,
Huh?
man?
Should I tell him what
What
happens?
happens?
Should you know what happens, AJ? You know what happens? You know what happens?
You just made the list.
Yo, you spell it
And I
AJ, not
and I
J-A.
and I didn't make the list that I wanted. I'm not on the top 5. I made the stupid idiot list. But Becky Lynch, that was a good one. So,
Yeah, so yeah,
so
continue,
let's
please.
talk about that.
So
Why is Becky Lynch?
Why did she make the list? Are you kidding me?
Talk about it.
Look at her championship reign right
Oh
now.
my God.
Monster.
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 She was that headline evolution.
She was. Sorry, Rousey.
She was the main event.
She was, man.
without being the main event, and they knew that.
Becky
They knew
Lynch
that
and
in
Charlotte
Evolution.
Flair, that was a candidate of match of the year. That match was fire.
And besides the match, have you seen her savagery?
She's on another level of savage. She's at a Super Saiyan level of savagery right now, okay? Like,
Listen, her Twitter
it's just...
is like TMZ right now.
She told Becky Lynch she should cosplay as a water boy because you spending all that time on the sideline. She told Seth Rollins to go put your little fire pants on and I'll show you how to really burn it down. Cause she's the man, okay?
and
Becky Lynch is the man.
His top 5 coming at my top. My number 5.
Yeah, it definitely is.
That- you know
It
what?
definitely is. It definitely is
and
coming.
I like Seth Rollins for that because he was a sport and he's like, let's do it. You know?
Yeah.
Who knows? Future Becky Lynch versus Seth Rollins.
They
match.
do that on Lucha
So
Underground.
right, define them, obviously the current one right now, but the one prior was pretty good, even though Alexa Bliss put her through the table and eventually became, the goddess.
Yeah. So
I mean, I think, to jumps off of what you're saying, I think Becky Lynch's run is defined by the fact that after she lost to Alexa Bliss and went through that table, she's been trying to grasp at the brass ring
Exactly.
Yeah.
for the better of a year and a half, and when she's finally at her peak, finally got the championship. Damn, I have to agree with you. I'm so upset.
I think
definitely made the
I
list
think
tonight.
what's going to define Becky Lynch's run is the fact of how organic she
Oh,
became
yeah.
popular. Like they wanted Charlotte to be the face, and they wanted everybody to boo Becky
She's
Lynch,
female
and
Austin
everybody
right now.
loves Becky. And we still love Becky Lynch, and she's growing.
She's Lynch 316.
That Lynch 316, the last
She's
kicker.
female Austin right now. She's female Rock right now. She's on fire.
And the fan reaction is ridiculous when she comes out. Everybody chants, "You deserve it." Everything comes.
Just the pure fact that Charlotte was supposed to be heel. I mean, excuse me, Charlotte's supposed to be face, and they're booing her out the damn arena.
And listen, Charlotte Flair is a way better heel anyway.
Becky Lynch.
She's a way better heel anyway. So it's
I definitely agree with that, but
and I would definitely say that she would definitely stay in the title picture for a long time after this one.
she's gonna be a champ.
I don't think she's.
I think
dropping
she's
this
holding.
taking notice of this.
This is gonna be like her CM Punk run.
Yep, definitely.
This is gonna be like the fall of Lynch. Well, not the fall. I don't want to
the
say
rise,
fall of
the rise of Lynch.
I want to say like kind of like the summer of Punk or something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it just sounded.
Well,
bad,
this is the season of Becky Lynch.
Word.
Definitely.
Nah, hopefully this is more than just the season. All right.
So what about you, Rich?
What?
What's your top five?
My top five.
I just want to point out.
Just say
for
it.
people
Just
who can't
say it.
even say
This is
see
podcast
this.
listeners.
For the people who can't even see this right
For
now,
podcast listeners.
the back of his list of focuses,
Kayfabe
focuses list. The back of it to throw us off. His top five is Dylan.
That's his top five.
Because he spits hot fire.
Oh man. So
Man, that shows our age, man. Dylan. That shows our age.
So start my top five. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna throw it right off the back, man. I think I'm gonna start right off the back.
Maybe you don't know where you are right now.
Ooh.
So before you
Ooh.
up and you continue to blow, let me remind you that this is the house that AJ Styles built.
Wow.
So the
AJ coming
AJ.
in at number 5.
AJ's coming in at number 5.
Wow.
I love AJ Styles. He is phenomenal. No pun intended. All puns intended. But to be honest, his title reign has been boring.
Boring?
It's been boring.
I wouldn't, honestly, I can't say
His
that.
title reign's been a little stale. It's been a little stale.
agree with that.
The crazy thing is he's had all the best people to
Shinsuke
go against.
Nakamura, Rusev,
Daniel
Samoa
Bryan,
Joe. Daniel Bryan. He beat Jinder for the
He's
title.
been doing matches with Sieng.
You know what I'm
Andrade
saying?
Cien Almas.
He's had these.
Phenomenal matches with no story.
It's just been.
The same old recycled thing.
It's
That's
just
why-
been kinda just been
So
nuts.
that's why you put him in at
That's
number
why
5?
I put him at number 5 because he's been the champion for. I'm pretty sure he's already made a year at this point. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure he's made a year. So he's been champion. He's been a WWE champion for 365 days. So he's automatically has to be in those. He's been defending champion. He has been on the Brock Lesnar tip. He's been there day in, day out defending that champion.
So you wouldn't think that he deserves to go higher upon that list?
The reason why I don't put him higher on that list is because we're talking about top 5 wrestlers right now. As dope as it is that AJ Styles has been the champion and he's on the cover of 2K19, he's not really on the lips of wrestling fans like that. And if it is, it's not necessarily in the best way. It's just like, oh yeah, beat Samoa Joe, yeah. Tapped out Daniel Bryan.
I can see where you're coming from.
And it's dope. It's just like you would think all these dream match Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles, Samoa Joe versus Andrew Styles, Shinsuke Nakamura for AJ Styles. They really haven't been.
I think if anything,
It's just been kind of.
he's had the players, but I think it's everything surrounding, like the political
He's never in the main
aspect
event.
of WWE.
He has not been in the main event since he's been
That's
champion.
kind of hindering that in your eyes, probably. Because think about it, he's WWE champion on the supposed B show. How WWE tries
And
to
I always think SmackDown's a better show. I
paint
think SmackDown.
the picture of SmackDown as the B show, and the champion across from him for the last You know,
Yeah,
you
he's
say he's
definitely
been a
been the
year.
champion. Yeah,
the
he's
champion
definitely been a
across
champion.
for him on the other side is Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
And as sad it is, Brock Lesnar steals more headlines away from AJ Styles.
He does.
And he puts more asses in seats when he does show up.
He does. He
But-
absolutely does.
I think his reign has definitely been
Yeah,
pretty
AJ
well.
Styles, on paper, AJ Styles' reign is phenomenal. But the actual product of it, it just hasn't really been. It's been a little.
You know what it is?
The matches have been good, but the rivalries itself have just
You
been
know
kind
what
of
it is?
stale.
So are you saying
No. I care. I care, but for the sake of top 5, I feel like out of respect, I feel like for the reign he's had, for the match quality he's had for a year straight, he's definitely in the top 5. But as a WWE champion, he should be like number 1 and number 2. But his rivalries have been stale. The matches have been good.
so? With that being said on your behalf, why does he make the list at all?
Because he's been,
you don't have
because-
to be a champion, and you don't have to
Because
be
I feel like you've been the WWE
top tier as far as main events.
You've been the WWE champion for a year straight. You've put on great. You've put on. I feel like some of the matches should have been. They should have been better. But I haven't been in a ring recently to say that. So I feel like some matches have been better. But the reign he's had. Shinsuke Nakamura. He's beat Shinsuke Nakamura, Samoa Joe, Daniel Bryan, Andrade Cien Almas. Who else has he faced in his title run?
Well, technically Brock Lesnar
Rusev,
even last year.
He gave Brock Lesnar his best match. I think he gave Brock Lesnar
Yeah, he
his best
definitely
match.
gave Brock Lesnar one of his best
He
matches.
lost to Finn Balor, but he had a hell of a match with Finn Balor. And I mean, he's just AJ Styles, man. He's had a hell of a year, and right now, he's up there.
That makes sense.
So, next up, number 4.
Number 4.
Number
All
4.
right.
Who's your number 4?
I think I'm up again.
Yep, that's you.
Hold on, give me 1 second to readjust.
Oh man.
So number 4 on my list. This man. Thank you for the drum roll. This man is must see. In fact, he's the most must see WWE superstar. No, he's the most must see WWE star and wrestler. Period. The Miz.
Okay.
Okay.
Now,
All right. Listen.
why does Miz make the list? Easy. Who can actually say in WWE right now or in any promotion that they hold down both main shows within a 2-year span, main event status,
No, he has a Miz effect. I mean, not.
elevates people around him and bringing up the Miztourage? Those guys went on to be tag team champions after him.
That was the thing. Remember that, the B team?
Yeah, it was a thing for a second. But he elevates people around him. He brought his wife back into the scene, which made him even better. She actually got some ring time, got her career back on track.
She beat Brie Bella.
You know, he just elevates people around him. He's pretty much being used on WWE television as not only his own character, but he's literally breaking new characters, breaking new segments, and breaking new storylines with his Miss TV. Almost all storylines on SmackDown go through him. He's carried Daniel Bryan this year, and
Yeah.
He definitely
I don't
did.
know if
He
Daniel
definitely
Bryan's on
has.
your list, but
Yeah.
we owe it to The Miz. Yes. We owe it to The Miz for Daniel Bryan pretty much even being relevant this
He's
year.
the one that sparked it. Well, I wouldn't say that.
That big
Yeah, yeah,
cast,
the big
I'm not.
That big
His
casting.
his
Yeah.
that was the worst.
It was the booking. It was WWE's
Brian's
booking.
comeback was big for the situation that we thought he was,
Yeah.
retired or possibly couldn't
WWE
come back in
messed
any
up his-
fashion. But
messed up the comeback.
let's
Good
be real.
God.
After Big Cass came in, and that whole storyline with
With him being
Daniel
small.
Bryan kind of fizzled out. Has Daniel Bryan carried a storyline on his own without The Miz being involved?
No, not really.
No.
I mean, he had a
Not at all.
He had a storyline
So-
with AJ Styles.
And this is the guy that the fans gravitate to. This is the chosen one of the fans. His yeses and nos will be the whats in 5-10 years. You know?
Yeah.
So he's carried that. The Intercontinental Championship, when he said he's gonna make it the most must-see title, he's gonna make it relevant again.
Yep.
He truly accomplished that, because ever since Cody brought that white title, that white strap back, that classic look title,
icy
it
white.
has not felt prestigious. Since Cody had it, it hasn't given the proper due respect. And Miz held this title down. This is about his 7th reign. He's held that title down in an environment where there is no heavyweight champion on Raw consistently.
Yeah.
So Miz literally was the main event. He was starting Raw, mid-carding Raw, and main eventing
Well,
Raw.
what about right now?
He got switched over to SmackDown. He's kind of still doing the same thing. His momentum died down after Super Showdown, his loss to Daniel Bryan, but he's still in the mix. He broke Truth TV. Now that's a segment. That's a brand new character for Carmella. That's some new steam for R-Truth.
Yeah.
He broke Truth TV. He hyped any type of rivalry between Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles. Created yet another storyline for Daniel Bryan. Helped AJ Styles with his current situation, transitioning off of Joe and not really having a tension built up with Daniel Bryan. That's all Miz work.
Yeah.
Miz is a great host. I think the only person that can rival him as far as a host is Roddy Piper. I think he's on Roddy Piper levels with his Miz TV segment.
No, he is.
If not
well,
better.
Well,
Arguably better.
Different times.
But
And
is he on Jericho's?
but
The
see, but
Geritron,
here's the thing.
He didn't have nothing
Roddy
on the
Piper was
Geritron
able.
1000.
Roddy Piper was able to step on toes that Miz can't really go. Like it's a PG setting.
But that's what makes Miz great. He can do it in a PG setting. He uses it in the I'm the instigator, I'm gonna sit back, and that's usually comedic gold. It also always usually sets up a great storyline for Miz and makes the people around him relevant. Miz is the guy you want in any situation. He works perfect.
He's
you
the
know
perfect
you're
WWE
gonna
guy.
get a safe match. You're gonna get a good match. You're gonna be talked about regardless, and you're gonna be in those storylines.
He's a perfect WWE guy. Yeah. When you want to have the perfect WWE match, you put in.
Not only that, let's look at the fans. They boo him every week, but they say all his catchphrases. They say he's awesome.
He's a good heel.
He puts his hand up, those mouths go shut. So
Good heel.
great heel, awesome heel,
Great heel.
probably one of the best in the generation. So that's why he's on my top 5 and number 4.
Now,
So,
for
focus.
my number 4, I'm gonna have to pick Cody Rhodes.
Cody.
Nice. The American
Nice.
Nightmare.
Now, you may be
Cody.
wondering, why would I put Cody Rhodes on the list
At number 4.
At number 4,
Before.
I mean, let's check out his accolades this year.
Check out the accolades of Cody Rhodes.
He won the NWA World Heavyweight Championship.
Yep. Worlds.
Brought up the legacy from his father. Kind of a, pay homage
Big
kind of
deal.
thing.
Nice.
He brought NWA back to even any type of prominence. Nobody will be talking about NWA if it wasn't for Cody.
The
So,
mastermind of
definitely
all in.
agree with that.
Definitely. The next thing, he also produced All In.
Yep.
One of the most
History.
That's history.
That's-
history.
that's
Sold out
history right there.
10,000 seats in 29 minutes and ended up jam-packing 11,000 plus people in there.
And
One of the
packed the
greatest.
show and managed to finish it within 3 seconds
To me, is
left of TV time.
where I feel like All In was one of the best events of the entire year. I feel like one of the best wrestling events.
So what
I've
else?
ever-
What else has
ever
Cody
seen.
done to be able to make this prestigious list?
Yes,
the
brother
multiverse.
Cody. Yes, brother Cody. I know you come.
well. You obviously see the impact of him being in the wrestling scene and everything. He won multiple titles. I believe he won the.
He's the current IWGP United States champion. He was the sixth man. He just lost the sixth man.
Yeah, he just lost.
At one point, he had 3 belts. At one point, he was holding the NWA World Champion, the IWGP United States, and a 6-man. So he had 3 different belts.
Your boy was definitely shining. He was definitely shining.
Definitely shining.
Yeah, man.
So, and the fans love him. Everybody always chant Cody until he says something slick as being a heel to try to get them to believe.
You know why I would agree with him being on this list? Outside of like what he's doing with, you know, the Elite and bringing these pay-per-views out and, you know, the business aspect, just him as a character, he's one of those classic style wrestlers. He can switch his persona, become a completely different person, embody his character, and then completely ditch it the next day and create something new from scratch.
Yeah, Cody is awesome. When he's a face, he's a face. When he goes New Japan, he's a heel.
I will always say this figure Cody was one of the best. I love that.
Oh man, the grotesque. Oh
yeah,
my gosh.
grotesque Cody Rhodes. It was one of the best stories.
That really was awesome. Him and Rey Mysterio would tear the house down. Oh, look at the man right there. Look at the champ. Look at the champ right there, yo.
Becky Lynch is on
Look at
TV.
the champ right there.
It's always good when Becky's on TV.
Look at the champ right there.
All right, and as far as the future holds for Cody Rhodes, who knows? Maybe he'll start his own promotion.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think that's where he's leading.
We'll see what's gonna happen with.
Could be big swerves. Could be a big swerve too. You know,
said he swore to God on the crew is not coming to WWE.
I still don't 100% believe they'll throw that many WWE references and then go back hard.
Oh, wait till you see Being the Elite. Wait till after we gotta watch episode. We gotta watch Being the Elite after.
Oh, they still on the WWE thing.
Wait till you see how it ends. Oh my gosh,
okay.
This episode
I think
is
crazy. It might be a swerve.
This might have been the biggest tease of them all.
Again, listeners who follow up with our cast, I always say, I think it's 2 things: the Elite's either going to WWE or they're making their own promotion or doing something with their own little brand. Yeah. But that's good reason. So let's move on to Rich Moon. Who you pick for number 4?
My number 4 is Pete Dunne, the Bruiserweight. The Bruiserweight. The Bruiserweight. Okay. The Bruiserweight, who's been UK champion for over 500 days plus. My man Pete Dunne has been having grade A 5-star matches from WWE to NXT across independent promotions. He's like 4 different. He's like the world heavyweight champion, like 4 different promotions. Like if he would ever bring out all his belts, he'd have a waist full of gold and what hangs out his mouth. So he have like just a bunch of belts hanging from his mouth. Just I'll be him. And Pete Dunne, he's the 2nd UK champion. He hasn't lost it. So he's been champion for about.
I think it's been over a year already.
Yeah,
right?
it's 500 plus days.
Wow, 500.
500.
Why are they not publicizing that, like marketing that?
And he about to headline NXT War Games with Ricochet,
and they are using him a lot more too. So his future.
And they just started, and he's a big reason why they started that entire NXT UK. Like he's a big reason why they started that entire brand. And
I think he was sent out as a feeler, like to see if they can even do a UK promotion out there. He was definitely like a test out.
The UK,
he was defending that thing in a whole bunch of UK promotions, indies that had nothing to do with WWE.
Last year. The Elite, it was British Strong Style versus the Elite. And that match was crazy. I don't know why. I think they took it off. That match was crazy. The end of the match was the Bucks hitting Pete Dunne with a Meltzer driver, picked them back up. They hit him with the Meltzer driver, picked them back up. Omega picked them back up into the powerbomb, flipped them back over, One Wing Angel. That match was crazy. That match was crazy. So that's why Pete Dunne, the Bruiserweight, is my number 4 for top 5 wrestlers in the world right now.
Okay.
All right.
So I guess I'm up again.
We got number 3.
This time, I think my number 3 needs his own introduction. That's right. Number 3, top 5 right now. Kenny Omega.
Kenny Omega.
Now, I know that's probably controversial
The
to you
best
guys.
boss machine.
I'm guessing he's probably number 1 in you guys' list, but
Hey,
to me,
maybe,
number
maybe
3, you never know. Number 3 on my list for the simple reason, just the accomplishments, the match,
machine.
the
The
match
name
quality.
says it all.
I can easily put, as far as match quality, I can definitely put him over Rollins and over Miz in that category. Charisma and bringing others up around him. He's pretty much put me on to New Japan stars that I would have never even gave 2 looks. Yeah. Not to discriminate against, but you know, sometimes you gravitate to certain people, and he made me gravitate to almost everyone he faced. Yeah. Every match Omega has elevates the person he's up against.
He has that it factor of bringing out the best in every.
Now,
Shawn Michaels has that. Ric Flair has that.
He could easily be my number 1.
Yeah,
so
easily.
I even feel like my next 2 can easily switch positions at any point. Omega can easily be a top number 1 in the world. I didn't put him up there, you know, for reasons we'll get to.
Yeah.
But, you know, when it comes to being the lead, he's the leader of the elite. You know, great addition to that. Very charismatic. You know, and it translates in his matches. Ring psychology. You don't know how much ring psychology is important to telling the story of a match without using words, without even having to have a promo, without having to have a video segment. Yep. You know, Kenny Omega elevates wrestling every time he comes out. Whether it's a 5-minute match or it's an hour with Okada.
Classic. Good gosh.
Whether it's an hour with Okada or it's a good 5 minutes, when those V-triggers strike, it's a good night.
Yo, when Kenny Omega takes it up to that next level, when he when he hits you with that V-trigger and he hits the mat and you see him when he turns into that second gear, that's when
that's when you feel the electricity.
That's when you feel it's like, damn, he's about to take it to a whole other level. Like, nobody can touch him when he gets into that level. He turns that ultra instinct. He gets that ultra instinct level, just that. And like you said, the in ring and the ring psychology is so. I think a lot of that people that just watch WWE, because there's wrestling fans and then there's WWE fans. But people that actually watch wrestling, they will understand the difference of why.
I think you can just drop him into WWE. He can easily outshine half of that roster.
Yeah, his moveset is his moveset is
just all around.
Just
all around. He can outshine half of that roster. He's the total package. He's next up. Future wise, is nothing but bright things for Kenny Omega. Him and his group, the Elite, they're changing professional wrestling. I mean, that's the goal.
Their tagline is change the world. And honestly, as far as professional world, him, the Bucks, the Elite, they have changed the wrestling world.
That's number 3.
Standard of wrestling.
That's the cleaner. That was the former
best
leader of the Bullet Club. Now the leader of the Elite Society, Kenny Omega. Focus, what's your number 3 on the top 5?
Come on! You know I got you! Yeah! One! Break the wall down! Break down the wall!
Jericho!
We just gotta let that ride.
That's GOAT status, man. That's GOAT status
The
right there.
GOAT is number 3 on the Focus list.
Talk to us, Focus.
Talk to us. Let us know what you're thinking right now.
2. Kayfabe is Jericho. Now, do you want to know why he made the list? Not the list of Jericho, but the list of Focus. And I'll let you know right now.
Why?
Because he is one of the greatest intercontinental champions that the world has ever seen.
8-time.
Nah.
8-time.
Add 2 to that.
9-time, if you include the IWGP Intercontinental Championship. That's right, he's cross-promoting now.
So you're telling me he's IC champion
he's a 10-time
in 2 continents?
2 continents.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Oh no, he wasn't Intercontinental champion. Anyway, he's the greatest Intercontinental champion of all time.
If not the greatest of all time.
Period.
In general.
No, he's the GOAT.
He's going to GOAT status.
He is the GOAT.
Chris Jericho
as far as his charisma, he could come back and leave at any time and still have the fans popping and cheering
nobody has reinvented themselves more than Chris Jericho. Nobody. He does not rest on what he did a year ago. Forget years ago. He doesn't rest on what he did. A lot of wrestlers come in, remember I did it back in 2005. No, Chris Jericho don't rest on what he did in 2017.
Chris Jericho's Chris Jericho's outshining almost every legend at his age. Any legend at his age, you can compare him to any of them. He's outworking all of them, and the match quality with Jericho,
smooth,
beyond ridiculous. I always say it.
His match with Evil was so smooth when he was moving.
His
first classic match.
See, what I love about Jericho is even down to his movements in the ring, you cannot copy him.
Yeah.
This man is a once in a lifetime thing in wrestling. There's people that you go, oh wow, it looks like a great Arn Anderson slam, or it looks like a great Ric Flair figure. No, you cannot compare Jericho to most people. Yeah. Jericho has a style of his own.
He does.
He can do the light heavyweight thing, heavyweight, cruiserweight moves. You name it. This guy's drop kicking out the ring. He's power slam.
That's how he looked at his match with Evil.
Guy's amazing.
At some points, like he was
in every stage of his career.
At some points, he was just kicking the shit out of Evil. And at some points, he was moving around He was moving around the ring like a cruiserweight.
So
he was just
what do you think defined him to put him on your list at number 3?
The thing that defined him to put him what he did recently is put on the Jericho cruise, of course. A very successful cruise.
Sold out.
Sold out. Both physically and over the pay-per-view buys. Yes, that's right. The Jericho cruise was a pay-per-view as well that you could see on
TV. And the pay-per-view aspect, I didn't see him flipping that at all. Like, I knew he was gonna do the cruise. New matches were gonna be on it, but the fact that he flipped that into his own pay-per-view, the whole time I was comparing it. This is all into.
Yeah,
it's not Cody's thing. Is not the Elite's branding, but this is all into. He even made more history, I believe. Think about it. He had Ring of Honor, he had Impact, he had New Japan, and
WWE.
He snuck in Rey Mysterio, got him booked.
Yep.
He got him booked before he joined WWE again. So he had 4 promotions, the promotions
Rey Mysterio
in the world.
Refused not to go. Like WWE trying to take him off of it. Rey Mysterio refused. Like, no, I'm going on.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
I'm going on.
Any real wrestler honors his commitments.
Yeah.
That's one thing. You could be going to the next company tomorrow night, but as long as you do your thing and you hold to your commitments, your bridges will always be there. You always want to have those bridges nice and safe.
Yeah. Jericho running on
in case you ever need to pull a favor in that business, you know?
Jericho running on GOAT status, so, you know, I ain't got nothing else to say.
So where do you see him going in the future?
Well, he still has the Intercontinental Championship, which he will probably defend it against Naito at WrestleMania.
Maybe.
We'll see.
I really think that's a maybe too. He really might. Naito really might not get that.
Then, so we'll see what happens.
Word.
From now until January.
Speaking of, I gotta listen to that. I gotta listen to his podcast when he had the Elite on. I want to hear that full interview when he had the Elite.
The old one, or
no, the new one at the cruise. Yeah, like
I want to hear the Eddie tribute episode. That's the one I really want to hear.
We probably have both of them up at this point. Yeah, I gotta listen to that.
Right, so
I mean, Chris Jericho is done. Yeah, man. Yeah, we can move on.
Jericho was your number 3.
So I'm up next. And my number 3 is the last kicker herself, the man, the champion, Becky.
Just remind me why I'm on the list tonight.
Okay.
Remind me why I'm on the list tonight.
Okay. Do you know what happens when we're making a top 5 list of the best wrestlers in the world? The people that the wrestling fans, the smart marks and casual fans are talking about the most, and you don't put Becky Lynch on your list? Focus. Should I tell them what happens?
I think you should.
Should I tell them?
I'm not even going to argue
Should I tell them what happens?
Tonight.
Okay, you know what happens?
What happened?
You know what happens? You wanna know what happens?
Well deserved. It's well deserved. And Lynch, he's actually writing.
But Becky Lynch is my number 3. I mean, oh my God, Becky Becky is one of the best things going in WWE right now.
I love Becky Lynch.
Not in
by the way.
SmackDown, not in the women's division. No, she is one of the best things going on in WWE right now. We were at Evolution, and her and Charlotte had not just the match of the night, they had one of the matches of the year. Okay?
That pay-per-view was one of the best pay-per-views of the year.
Absolutely.
So the fact that
Absolutely.
she stole the show that night
is
just a testament to who Becky Lynch has become.
Yeah.
You know, and we kind of highlighted pretty much how we felt about Becky, earlier when Focus put on the list.
Yep.
But Becky's just doing nothing but amazing things. So she's definitely well deserved to be on two people's list tonight.
Yeah.
Great representative for the women's division, I would say.
Yeah, she's got this big match with Ronda Rousey going.
Hopefully she'll win.
She's probably not going to win, but here's the thing. She's going to go into that, and I guarantee you, everybody's going to be cheering Becky, and they're going to boo Ronda. Becky Lynch is so organic. Everybody loves Becky because we see the story, we see the struggle. And you know what? I've been watching. Becky Lynch did like a lot of press before Evolution. She's just a dope person in general. Outside of wrestling, she just seems like a really dope person. She has this interview with Nina Strauss, the chick that comes out and does Shinsuke stuff and all that. But yeah, let's move on to our number twos. AJ.
Alright, my number two. Just in case. Just in case.
So before you huff and you puff and you continue to blow, let me remind you that this is the house that AJ Styles made.
Now, coming in, my number two, AJ Styles. This is why I was actually the community insider. You're a real mark for that. But that's why I was so surprised that he actually made it to the list and made it to number 5. Because he was on my list at number 2. AJ Styles, to go back, I agree with everything, all the reasons you said that he was great and why he deserves to be on the list. But I feel like he just needs more credit as far as what he's doing in WWE. It's hard to be the B Show's champion in the company where they focus on the part-timers and focus on the big guys, the big heavyweights. So AJ Styles has been doing his thing for the past year plus, officially made it a year as champion, and holding down SmackDown. SmackDown's truly become the house where AJ Styles built.
Yep.
And honestly, if he left today, there'll be a giant hole in SmackDown.
Yep.
A big shoes to fill. Not only that, just outside of WWE before he came into this run, we all love the Bullet Club, but the Bullet Club went through his hands. Before we got this elite, it was in the hands of AJ Styles.
Phenomenal era.
And he led a phenomenal era in New Japan.
Yeah, one of the most successful runs though.
Veteran. He's already 15 plus years at the game. He deserves number 2. I don't think I have to keep talking and rambling on about why AJ Styles deserves it. We already know he does. Number 2 on my list.
Kayfabe Focus. Who's your number 2, man?
Really? 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 Really?
You want to know who my second favorite... You want to know who is my second person on this list? Well, it's none other than the most must-see WWE superstar on that whole roster, if not the whole world. It is The Miz.
The Miz!
Now, when I put Miz number 2 on my list, it's because his gimmick, his charisma, the way he speaks on the mic, his promo abilities are A1. You could put Miz anywhere at any time, with the mic, he'll shine. He'll entertain the whole crowd and millions across that are watching as well. Awesome. Miz is a veteran on the mic, and he is also great in the ring as well. You would never see him on the injured list because he works so safely with others as well.
Yeah, man, he's another Y2J, never really gets injured. And honestly, I don't even think we kind of highlighted all the things that Miz really does. You know, even when I put him on my list, he came in at number 4 on my list. He does everything outside of WWE. He does all the promotions, all the radio interviews, all the commercials. He's done like 5-6 Marine movies. You know, he does the Make-A-Wishes. He does everything. He's a reality TV star. Even to this day, he got Miz and Mrs. You know, which is actually one of the better reality shows that they have right now.
It's definitely better than Chrisley, I'll tell you that.
It got renewed for season 2 already too.
Yeah, it got the season 2 green light maybe the first or second day it was aired. So big things for Miz. Where do you see Miz going?
Hopefully against AJ Styles in a title match, and hopefully he wins it and makes it interesting, because I feel that AJ Styles really hasn't been producing much of entertainment, being a face on SmackDown.
Yeah.
So hopefully Miz will be that heel to elevate the WWE title.
Miz should be the guy to take the belt from. I personally think that he should be the guy.
Oh, that'll be the craziest heel moment.
That would be the best heel. That would be the most heel thing he can do. Because Miz is one of the.
Stop that fire reign.
He's one of the few
years straight as champion and coming up to the Miz. Oh man, people eat that up.
I feel like Miz is a pure heel. He's one of the few pure heels left in the entire spanning any company.
That's why I really do compare him to Roddy Piper. If you put up any legend, Roddy Piper easily. Yeah. He's the current generation Roddy, and if anything, he's doing bigger things than Roddy managed to do. You know, not taking nothing away from him. I love, rest in peace, Roddy Piper. I love him and everything. Love his work. Always entertained me. But he actually never became a WWE champion. He hasn't held as much titles.
Roddy Piper would refuse to lose anybody. Watch any Roddy Piper match from like.
Well, that was back then. That was a big ego thing for a lot of wrestlers in the back. Now it's more of like a community, like a brotherhood backstage, and a lot of people more.
It's because what Vince would do. Vince would build the heels, feed them to Hogan, and then the guys would just fall down to the mid card and then just get another heel. That's why he didn't. He's smart for not doing that.
Yeah, he protected. He's one of those guys that protected his character no matter what.
Yeah, but
Miz at number 2 on Focus's list.
Yep.
So
great choice. I agree.
Guess it's up to me, huh?
49 pounds. He is the IWGP Heavyweight Champion. He is the cleaner, Kenny Omega.
Woo! What's that? Pop that all in. I mean, there's not much to say. There's so much that we can say about the best bout machine, Kenny Omega. 5-star Omega. Kenny Omega has had 10 5-star matches in 2018. I don't know if anybody else has had that many 5-star matches. And I'm just saying those are 5-star. Like, he's had matches that were beyond, that were like 6. You know what I'm saying? He had a 7-star match with Okada.
That's Meltzer, right?
That's Meltzer.
What's his criteria for having so many stars?
The psychology.
I always wondered
the ring psychology and the pace. Kenny Omega cuts a pace that is just relentless. Like, in WWE you get like a lot of rest holds and stuff like that.
Yeah.
When you watch a Okada and Omega match, you're not gonna really. And these guys go an hour. You're not getting a rest hold. They'll get knocked down. That will be their rest hold, but you're not getting just a chin lock. And like the psychology of how he just does it, the selling, just the moveset, the arsenal, he's one of those wrestlers like Ric Flair, like Shawn Michaels, like AJ Styles. I can get in a ring with anybody and just make him better, make him like $1 million. So Kenny Omega, PW Inside number 1, best wrestler in the world.
What do you think he's going in the future though?
I think Kenny Omega is. And he's going whatever the Elite's doing. I think those guys are really sticking together.
That's definitely confirmed there.
Whether that's WWE,
that's not
starting
they're
own
all
thing.
Going together.
Whatever happens, they're all going. They're smart for sticking together.
What about?
Because those guys are the Elite.
What about Ibushi?
Ibushi,
And their promise.
their promise to have that main event. Which will steal a show anywhere they go. You know, I hoping that Ibushi is a part of that. I hope he was just an unspoken person or part of the elite. I know he's part of the golden elite, so I'm hoping that's just like an unspoken thing, like, you know, he's just there. He's automatically part of the elite. Kind of like an honorary member, kind of like Chris Jericho.
Yep.
And when they all get together, they're kind of like the Avengers. You know what I'm saying? Like they're like the Alpha Elite, the Alpha Elite Club. I don't know, like you know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, that's my number 2. The best bout machine, the cleaner, the IWGP Heavyweight Champion, my man, 5-star Omega, the elite part of the elite society. I don't think they really have leaders in the elite society. I think it's just
No, they're all friends.
it's just elite society.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall.
One fall! And for your main event, the number 1 choice.
On our top 5 list, starting with AJ.
Really?
Yeah, I had to go there.
Finn Balor?
No.
Ooh, sound like Finn Balor.
Disrespect.
That's what you said. That's Jack the Destroyer.
Now,
Oh no, that's
it's a little bit disrespectful that you stupid idiots don't even know the greatest of all times theme music. My number 1 pick is the GOAT himself, the Ayatollah of rock and roller, the Monday Night Delight, the host of the highlight reel, and you know what? The creator of List himself, Chris Jericho, is my number 1 pick.
Really? And what made you say that to make him make the list?
Is undeniable. Chris Jericho's legacy is gonna be hands down one of the best ever. Undisputed champion, first person ever to become undisputed champion. Beat The Rock and Stone Cold same night. 8 or 9 time Intercontinental champion. If you want to count the IWGP, just the list of accolades is ridiculous. Cruiser Jericho created his own promotion, had 4 different promotions all on one boat, making history. Is it the Bucks of Jericho? Is it
Y2 Jackson.
Y2 Jackson?
I don't know. We'll figure it out later.
Chris Jericho's my number 1. Who else? Who else deserves it? Who's on your? Who's number 1 on Focus's list? Who?
Yup. That's right, ladies and gentlemen of the community. My favorite, my top number 1 on the top of this list is now AJ Styles. Of course, I would put him as number 1. He's the WWE champion.
Now, considering he was number 5 on Rich's list, he was number 2 on my list. Why does he deserve to be number 1? On the list of Focus.
Because ever since Brock has absconded with the Universal title, and it's been a
Why
ghost.
does that sound like knowledge granted by the
Broken wisdom.
Vulcan and broken wisdom
Brother Nero.
of Brother Max.
Yes, we attempt to entertain you and educate you at the same time.
No, it's delete. Delete has 3 E's in it.
Yeah.
Educate, entertain, and enlighten. So enlighten me. What makes AJ Styles number 1?
Well, since Brock Lesnar has the Universal title and he's no longer, well, he's barely on Raw at all, if anything.
I can't see him more than I can't see Cena.
He's literally not just the house that AJ Styles built, but he is the face of the WWE as well. When you talk about a champ who comes in, day out, going to work and wrestle, is AJ Styles. Sure, some of his face work could use a little more freshening up a little bit, but at the end of the day, when you go see AJ Styles, when you're watching at home on the WWE Network, which is only $9.99 per month, free members get a brand new month, or you're in any type of stadium watching him live, I guarantee you will have a great time watching the Phenomenal One drop a phenomenal forearm on his opponent.
Well said.
What's up?
Well said.
What's up, sir? Well, I guess it comes down to me. And this is what I'm going to go with. Use his current one. I don't know what the hell he was playing. I haven't used that theme music in like 10 years.
Well, folks is ready for it. You're talking about the GOAT?
Okay, you're cool, but you're never cool as main eventing Wrestle Kingdom walking down to your own theme music, okay? You already know who the number one is right now, alright? The GOAT status. GOAT Chris Jericho, alright? I mean,
Me too?
listen, Chris Jericho
It's official.
in the last 4 days, Chris Jericho has main evented two of the biggest wrestling events going on in the world. He main evented his own cruise ship, Alpha Club, and the last time they went by the Bullet Club, he Alpha Club versus the Bullet Club, and then he main evented Power Struggle and gave Evil his first classic match.
He gave Evil his best match ever.
I mean, you know, it's just like Chris Jericho was doing everything. In this last year, he's wrestled for WWE, Ring of Honor, appeared on All In, had his own cruise, and made his debut on Ring of Honor because Chris Jericho is going to be stringing on Honor Club.
He went right from All In straight to a Fozzy concert.
He's a legend.
He's a legend.
He's a legend. He's the GOAT, okay?
No one
he's
at his age is doing what he's doing in this business.
He's 47 years old.
He's wrestling better than the young lions, better than the guys in the back in their 20s, in their prime. He's up there, and you know what? He's even giving matches to NXT. He's hands down the GOAT. He's made it to 2 top ones tonight.
He's number one.
So I think
The top 3 is on.
this has more credibility than the Crown Jewel tournament.
Yeah.
I think he's best in the world.
I think right now,
Chris Jericho is
right
the
now,
best in the world.
Chris Jericho right now is the number
He just
one.
made the list.
I think Chris Jericho is the number one wrestler in the world right now. I think he's the one that the fans are talking about the most. I mean, his press conferences are gold. All his promos are gold in New Japan. Are you kidding me? All of them are gold. Go watch them. Go watch them. You know what happens if you don't go watch Chris Jericho's promos in New Japan?
What happened?
Huh?
Let 'em know.
You know what?
You just made the list.
That's right.
And with that being said,
It's
Jericho
not gonna
making the
ask.
list twice at top, 3 times on the list, period. Making history. You wanna?
I think there's nothing more for us to talk about, nothing for us to brag about, nothing for us to ramble on about.
So,
Kenny,